Welcome to Silent Wisdom. This is Mani. What is suffering? Why do we suffer so much, so intensely, immensely? Is there a cure? Can we reduce our suffering? Can we get rid of suffering forever? Let us explore. To understand suffering, it is first very important that we understand what is pain. Pain can be physical or emotional. Pain is a feeling of discomfort, a sensation that is caused due to some injury or disease. It could be something very small as a bruise or a cut, or it could be a big disease or even a chronic disease. Similarly, there can be emotional pain, which can be caused by the physical pain, because it can stress you out that you are having so much of pain, or when the pain does not subside or becomes chronic. Emotional pain is also caused by other people, when either they say unkind words to you, or their actions hurt you, or they do not meet your expectations. Now, pain is inevitable and it is unavoidable. As long as we are donning this human body and mind, we live as human, pain is a part and parcel of life. Yes, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. But what happens is, the incidents of pain, most of which can be easily handled, whether physical pain or emotional pain, we turn them into suffering. Yes, we turn them into suffering. How? By repeating them over and over again in the mind. First, the mind also has a tendency, it's an automated process. For the survival, it wants to warn you that, look, when you went to this place or when you ate that particular food, it did not work well for you, it caused you pain, so you need to avoid. Or more importantly, not so much for the physical pain actually, but for the emotional pain. This is the person who hurt you. So it will repeat that incident. And so that you can avoid this person or you can protect yourself better. But what will happen is, first the mind will repeat and then will start looking more and more real. And that experience, which may have lasted only for 3 minutes, by repeating it 30,000 times in your mind, you can just do the maths and see how much suffering you have created for yourself. And not only do we stop there, but we keep on telling other people about it. We keep on repeating the same hurts, what other people did to us, and how your life is such a mess because of those. We just never outgrow those incidents. And that is what that causes suffering. Now, of course, this is just one part of the suffering I'm talking about. How do we create our own suffering? The suffering can also be many times because you are in a bad relationship, or you are in a very bad job, or because there is someone who is unwell at home and you need to take care of them, which requires much more than what you are willing to give or do for them. Or you may be caught up in certain situations in life which do not give you enough space for your own self. Or you may have a chronic disease, or maybe there is a death in the family because of which there is suffering, because of which there is pain. But what we are trying to say here is, yes, all of those incidents are real and all of those incidents are unavoidable. Is there anyone in this world who does not get hurt either physically or emotionally? Is there anyone who does not fall sick? Is there anyone in whose family nobody dies, or there are no problems or challenges? Once we accept that this is a part of life and this cannot be avoided, then we can deal with the pain. Dealing with the pain is easy. Dealing with the suffering is not. So, what are some of the things that we can learn to avoid suffering in our life? Are there ways to reduce? Yes, there are ways to reduce your suffering. There are, in fact, ways to get rid of your suffering forever. Yes, I'm not joking. There is a way. So, I'm going to share with you here today 5 tips of how you can avoid suffering, how you can reduce suffering, and if you really want, you can also get rid of it forever. The first is any pain that you may have, physical pain or even an emotional pain. Maybe there may be 1 or 2 people whom you need to share with, because they will guide you, they will provide the right solution. More than that, do not talk about your pain to other people. There is a very strong tendency to keep sharing it with as many people as possible. With all your friends, you would just call up everyone and tell them what's happening in your life, and you have been diagnosed, or you met with an accident, or your back is hurting, or whatever is your problem. What happens over here is that the more you repeat, not only are you talking, but your mind is listening. And when your mind is listening that there is something painful in your life, it just recreates that pain again and again. You start believing it to be true. And this happens even so more for the emotional issues. When someone has hurt us, actually nobody hurts us. People are the way they are. It's just that it does not match with our expectations, their behavior or their words or their actions, that we feel hurt. What they did may be intentional or unintentional. That's all right. It's how we have perceived it to be. And then we start talking to everyone about it, how this person has hurt us. And what are we doing? One, we are spreading a lot of negativity by talking about negative things to other people. Negativity is extremely contagious, and people don't even like it. They would actually not avoid you in the future. They would not be interested in listening to you. And if they are listening to you, then please understand that means there is something that they want from you. Otherwise, they wouldn't listen to all your negative talk and all your garbage. Second thing, people use their pain or suffering to gain attention. Yes, that's so true. So many people think if there is a problem going on in their life, it's a great opportunity to encash it. And encash it in what manner? To gain attention from them, to gain sympathy from them. This is an extremely immature way of gaining attention. And those people who are giving you attention because there is something wrong in your life, then I must tell you, they're not doing any service to you. They're actually doing a big disservice to you. So a spiritual seeker should definitely be very wary, should not only be doing this stuff, but if you have people who are listening to you, then know that they are doing a disservice to you. Third is that when there is an issue or a challenge in your life, there is always a possibility of looking at the brighter side. I know it's quite cliched and everybody says, look at the positive, but actually it is great advice. And while everybody knows this, I know extremely few people who actually practice it. There is a tendency to only look at what is wrong in the situation. Whereas in any situation, and I'm saying in any situation, there is a possibility of having a bright side. There is a positive there. It's just that we don't have the eyes to see it. So look at the brighter side. See how this challenge can actually may be an opportunity for you to learn. It may be an opportunity for you to grow, get better, change things in life. Maybe certain things are not going right in your life. Maybe certain beliefs are not right. So that will help your suffering to subside. The fourth point that I would like to share is get a larger or bigger perspective on life. Suffering is caused by limited perspectives. It is because of the limitations of our mind. It is because of the limitations of the belief systems or ideas that we have stuffed into our heads, which have mostly come from other people. And they stop us from seeing things as they are. They stop us from seeing the larger, bigger perspectives. So get bigger view on life. And the last, how can you reduce suffering forever? Well, take on a spiritual path. And there is, Buddha has said, there is suffering and there is an end to suffering. And what can end suffering forever? The only thing that can help you to end your suffering forever is knowing who you are or what you are, your essence. Once you know that, then there is no reason to suffer anymore. Yes, there may still be pain. As long as you retain this body, there will be pain, but pain can be managed. Even a small child, even a person with average intelligence, even an uneducated person can manage pain. But suffering, no. Suffering cannot be managed by anyone. Whether you are young, old, rich, poor, educated, uneducated, everybody suffers. And people suffer so much because of emotions, which they term as negative, because of emotions that arise because of thoughts which are negative. And it's a vicious cycle. Negative emotions leading to negative thoughts, and negative thoughts leading to negative emotions. No one in the world without knowledge can avoid this. So, what is the way to get rid of it? There is only one way, and that is get knowledge. And how will you get knowledge? By walking on a spiritual path. So just to recap, there is pain and there is suffering. Pain is unavoidable, suffering is optional. And there are ways to reduce and avoid suffering forever, which are: do not talk about your pain. Second, do not use your pain to seek attention or sympathy from others. Third, look at the positive and the brighter side. See what is there for you to learn. What is an opportunity here? Fourth, get a bigger perspective on life. Learn new things. Fifth, take on a spiritual path. These are very simple suggestions, but they are extremely powerful if you apply them. I hope this helped you. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you again very soon.